Hi there, Tori Hallowell here with you again this week, talking about one of my favorite hobbies and topics ever, and that is sleep. So today we're talking about sleep and how lack of sleep could lead to eventual burnout and how to avoid that. But before we talk about this week's topic, just want to introduce myself real quick. Like I said, my name is Tori, and I help young professionals who are headed towards burnout in their careers, who are feeling stuck in life, who are feeling disconnected from their purpose and their passion, and are looking for some help, and who are struggling and need some support and mentorship and guidance. And that's what I do, and that's what I provide. So if this resonates with you, check out my website, hallowellcoaching.com, to learn more, to download my free resource guide, and to check out my videos. And feel free to reach out. But like I said, today we're talking about sleep. I love to sleep. I bet you love to sleep. It's so funny that now that we're adults, the one thing that we hated when we were younger, we now crave and we don't get enough of, and that is rest and sleep. So the average human adult is supposed to get between 8 and 9 hours of sleep to be fully re-energized and rested to tackle whatever is coming their way the next day. And sadly, on average, we're getting about 5 to 6 hours. So we're really missing the mark. And when we don't get enough sleep, when we don't get enough rest and we're not re-energized, a lot of negative outcomes can come out of that. So it can lead to eventual chronic stress and burnout, like I mentioned, but also lack of sleep means that you're lowering your immune system, so you're more likely to get sick. You struggle sometimes, you're working through that fog, that mind bank, you kind of feel like a zombie. You're overly sensitive, you react to things, you overreact to challenges, to situations, you struggle with problem solving. It's harder to stay productive and focused for long chunks of time. We tend, when we're tired, to over caffeinate and indulge in too much sugar, and we kind of have that up and down crash cycle where we're going and we're fine, and then we crash, and then we caffeinate, and then we crash. And so this can all have a long-term effect on our mental and physical health, and it's not great. And then you know that when you do get enough sleep, when you're feeling rested and recharged, that you feel more productive. You're able to focus. You are happier. You're more fun to work with and to deal with. You're able to tackle challenges and obstacles and conflicts that come your way. You have a better memory retention. You have sharper problem-solving skills. Your immune system is fully boosted. You don't get sick. And you're more resilient. You're happier. You're able to kind of be part of the team. So there's lots of great long-term forever effects of getting enough sleep. This is something that we are all struggling with. So you all know the benefits and the side effects if you don't get enough sleep. So today we're going to talk about how can you get better sleep and more improved sleep in your life. The first thing you have to start doing is start saying no. Right? Start saying no. So one of the reasons that we don't get enough sleep is that we say yes to everything. We say yes to going out, to being social. We say yes to one more episode of Netflix. We say yes to answering a late night work email that comes in. We say yes to a phone call or a text conversation with a friend. Sometimes we avoid going to sleep because we don't want to wake up and go to work the next day, or we avoid something that's coming the next day, and if we stay up later, then the next day won't come. But we all know that that's not true. So we have these tendencies to avoid going to sleep, and we have these tendencies to say yes to staying up later and later, and then not getting enough sleep and not being able to recharge our batteries. So the first thing you have to do is you have to recognize that sleep has to turn into a non-negotiable in your life, just like your job, just like maybe exercise or seeing your family and your friends. Putting sleep as a top priority in your life has to kind of be that mental mind shift and that change that you are willing to make. It's all about discipline and follow through, right? Accountability. And so a couple tips and tricks for that. One is start saying no. Start saying no to late night emails. Figure out, when are you going to turn your work email off for the night? Is it 8 p.m.? Is it 9 p.m.? Find a time and stick with it. And then you know that as of 9 p.m., you're no longer checking your work email or your text. Put a stop on friend texts, on social events, on TV watching time, whatever it is that's keeping you up at night. Find a time, and that's your non-negotiable for when you're going to start saying no and start moving away from whatever it is you're doing and start getting ready mentally for bed. So that's another thing, is start mentally preparing for bed. Start to create for you a fun, relaxing, low-key bedtime routine. Maybe you start this 30 minutes in advance of actually wanting to fall asleep. So that means unplugging, right? We are so addicted and caught up in our phones and computers and technology that hours can pass. We're not even realizing it. So I always recommend unplug 30 minutes before you go to sleep, because first of all, you kind of let go of that technology, that blue light, all that stuff that's kind of messing with our eyes and our mind. It allows you to unwind naturally and kind of let go of anything that you might be stressed out about, through social media or through work. So 30 minutes before bed, unplug. Maybe take a hot shower, maybe do some light stretching, maybe take a warm bath, whatever it is to kind of get you relaxed and in the mode and the mindset to go to sleep. Now, one of the issues that we all struggle with, or at least I struggle with, is when I'm getting ready to go to sleep, my mind starts racing and overthinking, and I kind of go into analytical overdrive, right? And that keeps you up because you start to stress and overthink. So if that happens, have a pen and a piece of paper handy. Start writing out whatever it is that's coming to your mind. Maybe it's a to-do list, maybe it's stressors or worries. Write them out because it gets it out of your head and into a tangible place where you can, then tell yourself, I'm going to address this tomorrow. I'm writing it down, getting it out of my head, I'm going to address it tomorrow. And that can really help quiet your mindset so that you're able to fall asleep. Now, another thing is to take your phone and put it in a different room. I know that this is hard for all of us, myself included. Keep the volume on, so if there's an emergency, you can still hear it if it rings, but keep your phone out of your room. It means that as you're falling asleep, you won't be scrolling through social media and getting distracted. It also means if you wake up in the middle of the night, you won't be tempted to check your phone to see if emails have come in or to check social media in the middle of the night, because once you do that, you're going to start to wake up and it'll be harder to fall asleep. So if you don't have that impulse, you don't have that phone next to you to kind of give into that craving, then you're just going to turn around and go back asleep. So that's really a really helpful tip to know. A couple other things you can do: meditate. Do some deep breathing as you get into bed and starting to fall asleep. There's mindful meditation. There's breathing exercises. There's counting back from 100. Just ways to kind of settle yourself and get yourself in the right mindset for getting a good night's sleep. The other recommendation I have is set a timer. Set a timer. If you want to go to sleep at 10:30, you want to start your bedtime routine at 10, so you have time to kind of decompress and unwind. Set an alarm for 10 o'clock or 9:45 so that you start to mentally prepare yourself. Okay, I have 30 more minutes of my night, and then I'm going to start getting ready for bed. Maybe I'm going to stretch or meditate or whatever it is that you want to do. So these are some helpful tips. The other thing is just keep in mind it's all about space and environment. So make sure your room is dark. Make sure it's quiet. Get a sound machine or a fan to help block out noise if that's going to help you get a better night's sleep. Make sure you have great pillows and sheets. All those things really are important to helping you tackle and have a great night's rest. So I really recommend unplugging, putting your phone somewhere else, creating a fun bedtime routine that you look forward to doing every single night that's going to rest and relax you. And then, having some tips and tools in your tool belt when you're in bed or if you wake up in the middle of the night to help you if you are struggling with those overanalyzing thoughts and stressors that kind of run rampant in our mind in the middle of the night. So hopefully this helps. Please pass along these tips and tricks to other people. Please ask a friend or significant other to hold you accountable to going to bed at a recent time. Stop answering those work emails and those late night texts. And soon we will all be more rested, happier, more productive, and ready to tackle whatever comes our way. That is the goal of this week's video. So my challenge for you is this week, get enough sleep, 8 to 9 hours, see how it can change and transform your life for the better. And if you are struggling, if you need some help with a routine, a schedule, accountability, so you need some more help with tips and tricks, reach out. I'm happy to help you and I would love to connect. So until next week, have a great week. Bye.